Hi Scorpio, welcome to my channel. Thank you for being here and being born and all that. So, okay, I'm going to be doing the general love spread for the month of November. This is a general reading because there's just no way that I can, encapsulate everybody's energy. So this may or may not resonate with you. Please be sure to check your moon and rising sign, and then you can also check your Venus sign and the other person's Mars sign. Since this is a love reading, those signs are included as well. And then please like, share, subscribe, comment. I love the comments. Thank you so much. And thanks so much for everybody's support. Thank you for being here. And if you'd like a personal reading from me, in the description box below, it should have that information in there. If you just hit the read more button or something like that. I don't know. I was looking at it earlier because I thought it said description box, but I didn't see where it said description box, so I don't know. But that's what it's called in my head, so that's what I call it. But there's a box underneath. So if you just click on that, it'll tell you how to get in touch with me for a reading. Little bit of a disclaimer, I am going to be out of town. I'm going home to visit my family from this Saturday until November 1st, which is Wednesday. So I won't be doing readings during that time, including urgent readings because I'm going to be with my son. So I want to, put that out there for everybody. But let's jump into this, Scorpio, and see what we come up with. So the first card that I pulled for you is very interesting. I've got the World card. I feel like this is a transitional phase for a lot of you, especially Scorpio. And I apologize. Scorpio is my favorite name to say because it always makes me think of, I don't know, for some reason it makes me think of either New Kids on the Block. I don't know if it was that. I think it was them that was like, oh, oh, oh. So when I think of Scorpio, it always kind of makes me laugh afterward. Or like Rufio. If you know who Rufio is, then you know exactly why. Well, maybe not. I guess Scorpio and Rufio, yeah, they're pretty similar. Anyways, so it makes me laugh. But what I love about the focus on this for this month, Scorpio, is that there has been this completion. And I feel like it's a major completion for a lot of you where there was a lot of uncertainty or instability or you didn't know your place in the world. And I feel like this is you coming into this ownership of your place in the world. Finally things are starting to come together for a lot of you. And I feel like it's finally at a place where you're starting to feel like, your confidence is getting up there. You're starting to feel like I got this. And so I feel like with that energy, it's very, very powerful energy. And perhaps there are people around you who are not quite up to that level yet. Maybe they're still feeling scared, perhaps. But I feel like this is a very confident energy coming through for you. And it's very warranted because this is a major completion. For a lot of you, there was an actual karmic completion, or a lot of you have maybe gotten out of an abusive relationship, or perhaps there was something that needed to be a chapter that needed to be closed in your life that you've been able to close. So this is very encouraging momentum. There's definite momentum behind it. But right next to it, we have the Four of Pentacles. I don't feel like this is necessarily coming through as you. I feel like this may be somebody in the environment who's kind of, like I said, not up to this massive change that's going on. Or it could be a situation of them holding on to the past and not seeing the changes that you have made. Even though there's progress that's been made, it's almost like there's somebody around who doesn't acknowledge that, or is clinging to how things used to be, or whatever used to be the norm. That's what they're clinging to. It's not progression forward with you. So I feel like this is kind of like a blockage or a little pause there. This could also be somebody who's literally clinging to an old way of life. And this World card here would indicate that somebody is moving away from that way while somebody might still be clinging on to it. It's almost like, when you think about somebody who lives in this small town, maybe a man and a woman who live in this small town, they're in love with each other, but then she gets accepted into a college far away, or he gets accepted, somewhere far away, and the reality hits that, oh crap, we have to either pick each other or, these amazing opportunities. I feel like this is kind of what's happening here. It's there's this amazing opportunity coming up for one of you, I feel like it's you, Scorpio. And then there's this other who's just got all this like doubt, fear, blockage, like total pause. It's not moving forward. It's not moving backwards. It's just like chilling in this holding pattern. It's like digging your heels in. Somebody's being stubborn maybe. So I feel like this is for a lot of you, that's in the environment. For some of you, there could be this dynamic within yourself maybe between like which do I want to move forward or should I hold on to this old situation? So for some of you, that could be what it is. But then the next card that we have here is the King of Wands. And this King of Wands comes in right... For a lot of you, there may be like Sagittarius in your chart or something too. Because I feel like it goes hand in hand with this World card. And I feel like that World card is definitely you. So there's like this passion behind it. Or it's a feeling of... Again, I got this. Like, there's so much confidence here. Because the King of Wands is so charismatic. He's incredibly charming, incredibly convincing, persuasive. This is somebody who just, like, is a motivational speaker almost. Like, riles up the people, riles up the crowds. So it's definitely, like, a leadership card. It's a strong, strong energy. So I feel like there's, in this dynamic here... And I don't know, for those of you who are in relationships or whoever this significant other is to you in a love reading, I feel like there is this really, really powerful energy that can take place. But it's almost as though a lot of you have your sights set on like your future partner too. But if you're dealing with a fire sign, I do feel like this is a combination the two of you make together that's very powerful. And it's almost like perhaps that could be where this Four of Pentacles comes in, is this powerful combination is so powerful that it's kind of freaky too. And it might cause some, periods of, oh crap, like hunker down type energy or going into your shells or retreating, maybe not even dealing with each other. But I feel like there is a lot of power there for a lot of you in that dynamic or excitement. And then the next card that we have here is the High Priestess. So some of you may be dealing with an Aquarius as well, and perhaps they just ignite this passion. Or there could be more than one person. I mean, a lot of you could be dating multiple people, to be honest with you. But here we have with this High Priestess, again, this is a lot of your own energy too, because Scorpio is a very deep type of an energy. Like there's a lot going on. And so the High Priestess is that reminder, especially to the emotional side of us, that we already have all the tools to handle everything. So I feel like, again, is this confidence where you're coming into your intuition is on par, you're making wise decisions. There is a lot of really positive energy here. And I feel like too, it's almost as though you're able to take a step back and be like, it's going to work itself out. Regardless of what's happening right now, there may be some turmoil right now, but it's going to work out. It could be like you just know. I feel like your intuition is just kicking in and you just kind of know. It's going to be fine. I just know. And there's that assurance there. And then the next card that we have here is the King of Cups. So, it could be a Pisces. It could be another Scorpio. But I feel like, again, this is you. Oh, yeah, this is definitely you. The way that I'm going to line this up, actually, I just made this connection, so we're going to do it this way. So the World card and the Sun card, one is right on top of the other. So this is you. There, and again, it is fire energy too. So a lot of you, I don't know if you're dealing with a fire sign, an Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, but if you are, there's a very powerful combination there between the two of you, I feel like. And this World card on top of that Sun card is not only do you have the confidence and the knowledge to take on the world, like knowing that you're ready, or feeling like this old you is gone behind now and you're moving forward as a new you, you're happy. There's a lot of happiness. There's a lot of good times, laughter, which is so important. But it's more than that. It's also like calming to the soul. And I know that feeling very, very well, where there doesn't even need to be a lot of laughter. Quite frankly, that person, we don't even talk all that much. But he's very calming to my soul. So I can identify with that. And the Sun card indicates too that you already know that there is happiness ahead. I feel like there's a lot of optimism here. And as I say that, we have this Four of Pentacles, which lines up perfectly with this Three of Swords. So for a lot of you, somebody is holding on to a past like heartache or heartbreak. Could be you or the other person, but I feel like it's hindering everything. It's a need for this forgiveness to be let go of. It's a need to loosen the reins. And it could be, too, that somebody's carrying in a past hurt from a past relationship. And a need to release that could be hindering this relationship here. But that's very, like, to me, that comes through as a very obvious holding on to. It could be holding on to a third-party situation. It could be holding on to a betrayal of some sort. It's holding on to pain from the past, whatever that means to you. But I feel like there is somebody in this dynamic, whether it's you or the other person, who's holding on to that. And on top of them, we have this King of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles. For those of you who may have been involved in a third-party situation, perhaps there was an earth sign or vice versa fire sign involved. And it could be that that's the past hurt that's been holding on to. But this combination right here is also very powerful because it's the practicality to this go energy. It's a practicality and a down-to-earth, calming, like soothing, nurturing energy to this very fiery, action-oriented energy. And it balances it out. So I do feel like this is indicating that you and this person do have, again, a very powerful combination of balance between the two of you. This is a complete circle. So holding on to this is what's hindering that, I feel like. And then on top of this, or underneath this High Priestess, again, with your intuition kicking in, like I said, a lot of you just know, we have the Four of Wands. So that indicates, higher commitments, elevating, like promotion. It's an indication of a promotion or an elevation. So it could be moving to the next level as far as relationship goes. Could even represent marriage or moving in together. But it's almost like this High Priestess is here saying you already know. You already know what's in front of you. You already know, what's here. You already know this is a good mix. Now, for those of you who may be dealing with more than one person, again, I feel like it's saying your intuition is already telling you which one brings that feeling of, I want to elevate things with that person. So some of you could be dealing with, again, you could have an Aries, Sagittarius, or a Leo in the picture. There is water in the picture for those of you who may be dealing with a Cancer, Pisces, or another Scorpio. But this Queen of Pentacles comes through very strongly. So I feel like there is either a fire sign, there's a fire sign and an earth sign in the picture, or fire sign or earth sign. But I feel like they're also representing, again, that balance here. Because on top, at the very end here, we have this King of Cups that's on top of Temperance. The Temperance card represents Sagittarius. This King of Cups, I feel like, is you, but it could be representative of a Pisces or a Cancer as well. But what I feel like this is indicating here is there is this ultimate balance here, and it's centered in love, because the emotions are what hit really hard, I feel like, for a lot of Scorpio, and they go so deep that a lot of time there's just, it's never discovered by anybody else. You just are holding that, and this Temperance comes in and helps balance that for you, helps balance things so that it doesn't swing. The pendulum doesn't swing so far, like it's either high or low. I don't feel like there's a middle ground a lot of the time. And so I feel like, because, unless there's some kind of other substance involved, I don't mean that to be judgy or anything like that. I just feel like for a lot of Scorpio, which this is a positive trait, believe me, there are extremes in the emotions. And I feel like the purpose behind that is to help balance out the relationships in our lives. And so feeling things very deeply and having these extremes in the emotions, this person is allowed to come in and help balance that. And you recognize that because that brings value to you. And that's a very powerful combination, again, because you balance each other out. This Temperance is representative of moderation in all things. So again, it's bringing that pendulum to, you know, the middle and not such large swings anymore. So feeling like it evens that out. So let's clarify and see what we come up with, because this is really cool, actually. Let's move you over, please. Please clarify this World card up here for Scorpio. What is this World card about up here for the month of November for love for Scorpio? Please clarify this. Okay. The Strength card on top of this World card. So some of you may be dealing with a Leo for sure because of this King of Wands that's here too, and that Sun card. There's a lot of fire in this, and that Temperance is also. So it could be a Leo that you're dealing with, but the important thing about this card that I love so much is the amount of inner strength that it represents, and it's a very feminine, calm, patient, loving type of inner strength. Could be male or female who owns that strength, but it's a very, when I say feminine, I just mean typically as a feminine trait. Patience is much more a virtue for a lot of women, I feel like, are expected to have more patience or that sort of thing. And I feel like this is a balancing that, again, takes place between the polarity. But it's on top of this World card. So for a lot of you, it could be that you are finishing a cycle of being completely out of balance in a relationship, or, you know, having been in, again, maybe abusive relationships or really toxic relationships. And it's this inner strength and balance that you can bring to the dynamic, that you have this confidence now that you will find what you're looking for. It's almost like that patience that's required. It's no longer so much pressing, and that's what's allowing this energy to come in. If you are dealing with a Leo or a fire sign right now too, again, is that balance between the two of you, the polarity. I feel like it's a yin and yang type of an energy. So it's very, very positive, like general energy between the two of you. Please clarify this Four of Pentacles here. What is this Four of Pentacles about? So again, we have Temperance. We have Temperance on top of this Four of Pentacles. So it may be that, again, you may be dealing with a Sagittarius. But this energy here with the Temperance on top of that Four of Pentacles, fours are about stability. Temperance is about, again, moderation in all things, that complete balance. And the Four being this clinging type of an energy with the Pentacles, or greedy type of an energy. Again, this Temperance is coming in calling for balance. That's what needs to be fixed in the situation. It needs to be pulled back into balance, because even if it's a fear that has kicked off this like clingy type of energy, there needs to, whoever that is needs to be brought into balance. And it's like a team effort to bring somebody into balance here, because I feel like it's like a responsibility in some way for this Temperance, because it's almost like the Temperance is the mediator for somebody's like freakouts. So I don't know if maybe you have to be each other's counterbalance when you get upset. Perhaps that could be what it is. Or one party feels like they're the counselor, the other party feels like they're the patient almost. But it's saying that needs to come back into balance. Because this stubborn, clingy type, you know, digging your heels in type of energy isn't natural to the situation. It's not what is healthy for the situation. And that's where the Temperance is coming in, saying it needs to be brought into balance. Please clarify this King of Wands here for Scorpio for the month of November 2017. What is this King of Wands about here? Please clarify this King of Wands here for Scorpio. Okay. On top of the King of Wands, we have the Page of Swords, the Page of Cups, the Emperor, and the Two of Swords. Wow. Okay, so the Page of Swords is representative of kind of, again, an incredibly confident energy. It can move forward kind of recklessly. Like it's charging and very incredibly confident, but it's almost like somebody who bites off more than they can chew. And on top of this King of Wands, I feel like it's I feel like there's, again, this can maybe some arguments going on, or there's arguments or harsh words or very aggressive energy going on with that Four of Pentacles in this Page of Swords. I feel like it's, again, that stubborn and then cutting type of an energy. And with it on top of the King of Wands too, that puts more passion behind it. So I feel like things get blown out of proportion. But then we have this Page of Cups. So this Page of Swords can be balanced out by the Page of Cups. Again, it's that yin-yang between the two of you, where even though there's harsh cuttingness, there's also a proper responsive emotion that helps balance that. It could be too that somebody has been working very hard to like take more responsibility or step up to the plate, kind of take control. The Emperor comes in as a very solid figure, but he can also be kind of a tyrant. And with that with that Page of Swords there, it could be that there's some harshness going on that needs to stop. I get this like message to almost say to each other, talk to me like I'm someone you love. Because this Page of Cups is saying, wait a second, we love each other. You're not my boss. I'm not your soldier. Like, you know, so this comes in as kind of that. But I also get for some of you too that it is somebody who's really trying to prove themselves and stepping up to the plate. It could be that there has, again, been this past heartache and somebody's working hard to prove themselves to you. And this Two of Swords on top of that is that energy of, okay, it's decision time. I got to figure out which way I'm going to go or what I'm going to do. Almost like some of you maybe have been perhaps having to prove yourself, or somebody has been proving themselves to you, and it's like decision time's here now. It's been long enough now. Somebody needs to make a decision. Please clarify this High Priestess here. Are you going to come out or no? What is this High Priestess about for Scorpio? What is this High Priestess about? Please clarify this High Priestess card for Scorpio. What is this? All right. On top of the High Priestess, we have the Eight of Wands. So again, I have this energy in my mind of there could be communication going on online or like text messages and stuff like that. It could be that you're communicating with this fire sign that way. But again, I have in my mind on top of this High Priestess is like you already know that when it happens, it's going to happen fast. This is very fast moving energy. It's traveling too. There could be travel involved. And somebody could be making a decision about whether they need to cut things off in a long distance relationship or somebody needs to move. That could be what's happening too. But this Eight of Wands on top of that High Priestess, again, is that energy of like, you already know when it happens, it's going to fall into place. Please clarify this King of Cups here for Scorpio for the month of November. What is this King of Cups about here for Scorpio? Please clarify this King. Okay. One of them flipped over, so that's the one we're looking at. And it's the Six of Wands. So it's a victory card. So it's a very positive energy, but it's also somebody wins, somebody's being recognized, somebody needs to be praised. There's this appreciation or praise that needs to happen. Or I feel like maybe somebody needs to be admired, like they need a lot of like verbal affirmations rather than just knowing that you appreciate it perhaps. Or that could be vice versa. But this is a victory on top of this King of Cups. So again, it's saying that there is very strong emotion here. It's powerful energy, and you can get through it if you want to. But again, it's that balancing, that yin and yang. It has to, I feel like that's what it's saying. It has to be approached as a team effort. Like you're not going to be able to do it by yourself separately. Now, for you, Scorpio, because you are in this position where you can take on the world, you would be able to move forward, but it would be, I feel like it would be tough. I feel like for a lot of you, and again, this isn't for everybody, but it is coming through pretty strongly that there's a very strong connection between you and this other person. And I feel like for a lot of you, it may be a Sagittarius. There's Leo here for sure, and then it definitely could be an air sign too, because that High Priestess definitely comes through to me as Aquarius. But again, there's a balance for the two of you. Please clarify this Sun card here for Scorpio for November 2017. What is this Sun card about for Scorpio? Please clarify this Sun card here for Scorpio. Okay. On top of this Sun card, we have the Seven of Pentacles. So that's what it's saying, is it's calling for patience. There needs to be patience. But if there's progress being made, I feel like that's what this is saying on the Six of Cups. For those of you that I was talking about who, you know, may have somebody proving themselves to you, I feel like this Six of Wands is coming in saying, acknowledge the improvement that they're making. Appreciate those efforts. Perhaps some of you are feeling that you need to be appreciated more. On top of that King of Cups. And that King of Cups, I feel like, is encouraging you to express that in a loving way. And that will come through. Like, there will be a victory in that conversation, I feel like. But it needs to be addressed if that is indeed how you're feeling. But I also feel like it could be the other person, and if you're in a situation where maybe you haven't been as expressive verbally to them or appreciative verbally to them, that may need to happen, because the Seven of Pentacles indicates to me that happiness is coming. Just be patient, it's coming. Please clarify this Three of Swords here for Scorpio for November 2017. What is this Three of Swords about here? On top of the Three of Swords, we have the Lovers. So what I get with this Scorpio is a lot of you are dealing with a soulmate. And I think that what a lot of people don't understand about the soulmate relationship is the soulmate relationship is not here so that you can just chill and love each other and be great all the time. It's challenging you. It's testing you. It's pushing you. There's a lot of turmoil and heartache, and, you know, even little turmoil and heartache, not even necessarily big turmoil. But there's a lot of these bumps and ups and downs and pretty painful stuff. And it's that process, because the history for a lot of you in like a soulmate, if it is a soulmate relationship, then you've known that soul for longer than just this life. So there's a lot of history there. And so I feel like on a soul level, when that hurt comes, it hurts to the 10th degree, because this is that soulmate relationship. There's such a strong bond between souls here. Some of you may have been in a relationship where perhaps there was a situation where it was a third party that was involved, and it was your soulmate that was involved, and that was very, very painful. And again, it's encouraging to be able to release that energy. Not necessarily saying that you need to be with that person, even though I can see that this bond is very, very strong, and there is a strong balance between the two of you when it's good. But when it's bad, then that's going to be completely counterproductive. Please clarify this Queen of Pentacles here for Scorpio for November. All right. On top of the Queen of Pentacles, we have the Five of Swords. So for some of you, it may feel like you're in a situation where nobody wins. And I feel like this has to do with the Queen of Pentacles is very, very practical. She's like wife material. She's a wonderful type of energy. But there's also a sense of rigidity to her, or even like, again, with this Four of Pentacles, there can be this kind of Mama knows best type of an energy there too. And I feel like this Five of Swords comes in and says, but if you don't compromise, then there are no winners here. Like, nobody's going to be okay then. It could also be some of you feel like somebody perhaps got the upper hand, and it may have been an earth sign. Again, if there was a third party situation, it may have been with an earth sign. Because the Five of Swords is an energy of somebody won an unfair fight, but really nobody won because everybody got hurt. And it's also somebody willing to, like, the means justify the ends. Like, they're willing to do anything to get what they want. So I don't know who that is or what that energy is. It could be, too, that some of you may be dealing with an earth sign who doesn't typically embody that energy, and you see that side come out, and it's causing problems. But I feel like, again, this energy can be balanced out, but it requires that balance between the both of you. And like I said, if it's destructive to you, you need to get away from it. You can't balance it because you can't do it by yourself. Both parties have to be willing to balance. Please clarify this Four of Wands for Scorpio for love for November 2017. What is this Four of Wands about? Woo! So on top of the Four of Wands, we have the Page of Wands. So it's definitely, again, that feeling of... The Page of Wands is interesting because it goes from like this... It's like a playful, innocent energy in this particular position. A lot of the time, the Page of Wands can be somebody who's pretty immature or flaky, but I feel like in this particular position, it's the more like fun-loving side, or the fun, like the big kid side that comes out on top of this Four of Wands. And it's saying that we're moving from this, a lot of you could be moving from like a casual relationship to an actual commitment too. That I feel like a lot of you could be, or perhaps moving on to a different relationship, maybe a different fire sign. Well, that's interesting for some of you. It could also be, though, that there is, the Page of Wands could also be a child or a younger person that's a fire sign. Perhaps that holds like a special place in your heart. That could have a lot to, because on top of the Four of Wands there, that would be indicative of like a family. So for some of you, that could be part of it too, is maybe there has been a lot of hurt, but it's also more to consider than, it could be that there was a third party situation and there was a lot of hurt, but the family is more to consider than maybe hurting one other person. And it could be that that other person is willing to do anything to try and like not let that happen. For those of you who are in that situation, and that sucks. And I apologize for those of you that had to do that, because that sucks. Please clarify this Temperance card here for Scorpio for love from November 2017. What is this Temperance card about here? Please clarify this Temperance. Okay, I see ya. Yeah, on top of this Temperance, we have the Four of Wands. Okay, we have two Four of Wands and two fire signs. So some of you are like marrying fire signs, or there's this mutual like recognition all of a sudden, like, holy shit, we want to get married. Or elevate things, or move things to the next level, move in together, or whatever it is. I feel like there is this, like, at the end of the month, I do feel like there's this solidification of becoming more in tune with each other or in line with each other's goals. Like, almost like, it's like this, okay, let's do this type energy. I feel like for a lot of you, so toward the end of the month, it is a little bit, yeah, there's a little bit of rockiness, but I feel like you know overall it's going to be okay. And it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. So let me know what's going on with you. And thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll speak with you soon.